Even though AMD didn't send NCIX tech tips of Fury X, they will not prevent this channel from having a video about it. Luckily, I found it in my heart to lend them our sample for like 2 hours. And I haven't told Anthony yet that it was actually DOA. So he'll be in for a surprise when he tries to legitimately turn this computer on. I was kidding before in the intro. This is actually the fixed one that AMD has sent us. This is a working card, and this is the AMD Fury X. It's AMD's latest flagship card, and on paper, its specifications are impressive to say the least. It costs the same as an NVIDIA GTX 980 Ti, but let's take a look at the differences. The Fury X has 1,280 more stream processors, 80 more texture units, and 175, really? 175 gigabytes per second more memory bandwidth. It even features 4 gigabytes of the latest high bandwidth memory, or HBM, allowing for more efficient usage of power and a more compact card design. Most importantly, this card comes pre-water cooled like the previous 295 X2 flagship. It has a 120mm radiator that features sleeved tubing, an extended reservoir, and a pump designed by Cooler Master. That means lower temperatures and lower noise in some cases. Both important factors when it comes to a video card. It uses 2 8-pin power connectors, but actually only has a TDP of 275 watts. Gotta leave in some overclocking headroom there. And as for outputs, it's got 3 DisplayPort 1.2 connectors and 1 HDMI 1.4a connector. Now, those DisplayPort connectors, it should be noted, it's very important that they're all on a single card for Eyefinity, because with AMD, you want to plug all your Eyefinity displays into a single card in your Crossfire setup, for example. Now, with such a small footprint, Anthony's first reaction was, hey, let's put it in an equally small but impressive bunch of other components. So for the case, he went with the Corsair Air 240. It's an MATX case with great airflow that makes excellent use of its small space. For a full review of the case, you can click on it. And since it's an MATX case, he went with the best that MATX has to offer. So inside is an EVGA X99 micro motherboard and a processor that isn't AMD. You can let your imagination fill in the blanks here. There's 32 gigs of HyperX Predator DDR4 memory, which is sandwiched around the Noctua D9L CPU cooler. And just like the Fury X, that cooler may be small, but it easily outperforms many larger coolers on the market and doesn't even hit the tallest memory sticks Anthony could find. As for storage, the Intel 750 series NVMe PCI Express SSD, that's the 1.2 terabyte version in there, obviously, which Anthony felt like was a nice sort of, augmentation for the Zen of the, it's funny I used the word Zen, that'll hopefully be coming soon, to the HBM on the Fury X, since this SSD is also many times faster than its current competition with up to 2.5 gigabytes per second read speeds. In fact, the full video of that SSD will be coming up soon, so make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. Finally, everything's powered by a Corsair AX1500i power supply, because as we've seen from previous videos, Anthony just loves sticking this extra large power supply into tiny cases, if you know what I mean. All the cables have been replaced with a sleeved set in white by CableMod, which helps clean up cable management and add that special finishing touch to the system, because there is, of course, a window after all. Now, it's clear that this build is a little bit overkill for most people out there, but to highlight sort of the best you can get in a smaller size, it's pretty close. Now, we could have gone ITX, but the NVMe SSD is not going to fit in those motherboards because there's only one PCI Express slot. Luckily, Dimitri from Hardware Canucks was nice enough to benchmark this card in detail and let us use his numbers, so that's all that's really left for the Fury X. You can actually click the full review down in the video description or by clicking on the Fury X in the case right here. So the gist of it is pretty simple. It trades blows with the GTX 980 Ti based on games and settings. HBM shows its advantage at higher resolutions, but it's nowhere near being a game breaker. 6 gigs of GDDR5 seems to be working pretty well for current games, which are rarely bottlenecked by VRAM, but there are other benefits to HBM as well, and we will have a full video about that. At the end of the day, I mean, it's good, but I'm still a little disappointed since the Fury X was really looking like it was going to be the chosen one, the one to take on the Titan X and bring balance to the market rather than leaving NVIDIA as, kind of the the king of the castle with the $1,000 graphics card. Overclocking is a little bit on the disappointing side as well, since HBM clock speeds are currently locked, but I also understand why AMD's done that, because you're not going to get much of a benefit from overclocking this already extraordinarily fast memory, and it's a very new technology, so letting users tinker around with voltages and stuff like that, it's probably in AMD's best interest to just leave that alone. So don't get us wrong, we all like the Fury X. Very impressive card, and with it, well, we managed to build a quiet, cool, high-performance gaming machine. But is it too little too late? Let us know in the video comments below what you think. Should AMD have tried to do it with a regular old blower? Do you think that the water cooling is a positive or a negative thing? Would love to hear your discussion about that. And finally, which one would you buy if you had $650 US burning a hole in your pocket? The Fury X or the 980 Ti? Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more videos like this from ncix.com.